Credit consultant Lacey Wilson is suing former family friend, 29-year-old peace officer Darlene Harris, for stealing her minivan. Darlene says Lacey sold her the vehicle. She is countersuing for the money she's already paid.
Order. All rise. This is case number 595 on the calendar in the matter of Wilson versus Harris. President sworn in judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Wilson, you and the defendant knew each other, and according to your complaint, you had a van, an old van. The defendant wanted to purchase the van. You agreed to sell her the van for $3,000. That was almost a year ago. Is that right?
I told her I was possibly considering selling her the van.
And I want you to listen to my question. I'm going to start again.
Okay.
You had a van. You wanted to sell the van. She wanted to buy the van. You agreed to sell her the van for $3,000, and that was almost a year ago.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. She gave you a $300 deposit. Is that right?
Yes, she did.
And you let her take the van.
She picked the van up from the towing company where I had the van towed, and she said she was going to go and check the van out to see if it would start up. Well, she went to the towing company.
Picked up the van. That was almost a year ago.
That's right.
And then, according to your complaint, you got a call from your son?
I had been talking back and forth with my son about him possibly having the van because he went in the Navy. He finished basic, and he told me...
Your son wanted the van?
Yes, my son wanted the van.
So you called the defendant and told her you changed your mind?
Yes, I did.
When did you call her and tell her you changed your mind?
After she picked the van up, and I'd also told her all along that my son wanted the van.
Miss Wilson, listen to me. You agreed to sell her the van. You took $300 deposit from her. She was supposed to pay you the rest of the money, I'm sure, at some time. I will ask you that later. Don't mess around with me. After that, you got a call from your son saying he wanted the van, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you called her and said, I changed my mind. I don't want to sell you the van. Now you can tell me what happened after that.
Darlene told me that before she gave me the van back, she would chop it up, and that she refused to give it back. And then after that, she spoke to Mr. Leach. I had him call her.
Who's Mr. Leach?
The witness right here. I had him call her on the telephone, and he called her and told her that we wanted the van back. My son was in Oklahoma. There are no sidewalks there close to the Navy post, and that he needed the van for transportation. Well, she told Mr. Leach that he could come and pick the van up numerous amount of times, but she never told him where to pick the van up. She refused to tell him where to pick the van up.
Well, first of all, Miss Wilson, let me explain to you. You sold her the van. You understand? You made a contract with her to sell her the van.
We made no contract.
Oh, yes, you did.
We made no contract.
Oh, yes, you did. No, you don't understand. You think contracts have to be in writing? It doesn't have to be in writing. It can be an oral contract. All you have to have is an oral contract. You have to have an offer. The offer was $3,000 for the van. You have to have acceptance. You accepted the $3,000. You have to do something that makes the contract move forward, which was she gave you a deposit for the van, and that completed the contract if she fulfills her end of the bargain. Do you understand? That's a contract. It doesn't have to be in writing. Only certain contracts have to be in writing. This contract does not necessarily have to be in writing, except for signing off on the title. So you couldn't at that point change your mind. Do you understand? You had no right to say, I want to change my mind and sell the van to my son.
Judge Schindlin, the check that she wrote, Schindlin, excuse me, the check that she wrote out to me was not even made out to Lacey Wilson. It was made out to her wife, Joanne, and for deposit only. I put it in the account, and I told her I would give her her money back at any time.
Just a second. Did you deposit the check?
Yes, I did, to see if it was legitimate.
Then once she gave you the check and you deposited, the contract was complete. Do you understand that? If you didn't understand that, I'm explaining it to you now. The contract to sell her the van was complete. At the time, you accepted her check, and you cannot, let me give you another example. Let's say you go into a car dealership and you and the car salesman discuss a price for a used car. And you come to terms on the price for a used car. And you give them a deposit. And an hour later, somebody else comes in and says to the dealer, I'll give you to this car salesman, I'll give you an extra $1,000 for that car. He says, just made myself an extra $1,000. I'm going to call Miss Wilson and tell her she can't have this car because I just sold it to somebody else. How would you feel?
Well, in that case, I would feel bad, but she did not even give me the full initial
Just
deposit.
a second. I'm just asking you. Don't say she. I'm asking you. There's no difference between this car salesman who was selling a car at an additional profit and you who changed your mind because your son wanted the car. There's no difference. So you could not change your mind at that point. However, you didn't finish paying for the car, right?
That's not true.
Really? You did finish paying for it.
What happened was...
Answer my question, and then I'll let you talk. Did you finish paying for the van?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Why not?
What happened was...
And make sure, listen to me, Ms.
Yes.
Harris. I want you to make very sure of one thing. Don't give me a story that doesn't make sense.
Oh.
Because I will cut the legs off a story that doesn't make sense and make you look very, very foolish. And at this time of the day, I don't really want to do that. Do you understand? So I don't want to hear any baloney that you parked the van someplace, it got stolen, you don't know where it is. I don't, because that's what I'm listening to in this answer that you filed. I don't want to hear any of that baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lacey Wilson says former family friend Darlene Harris stole her minivan. Darlene says Lacey sold her the vehicle and then changed her mind.
Go ahead.
First of all, the initial price of the van was not $3,000.
It was how much?
It was $500. The van was not in working condition.
How old was the van?
It was a 93, I believe. Her son had crashed the van on where I work. He had crashed it on the seawall, so it wasn't working. Something was wrong with the transmission. So she just wanted to, she was going to junk the van. She just wanted to get rid of the van. She told me, I asked her about it. I says, so whatever happened with the van? She goes, well, I want to get rid of it. I just want to sell it now. So I said, well, how much would you sell it to me for? She says, $500. I says, okay, well, I can give you $300 and then I'll give you $200 when you give me the paperwork. Okay, so I gave her a check for $300, which she cashed 2 days later. It was a few days after that I asked her for the paperwork. I says, I have your $200, the rest of the payment. I just need the registration, I need the title so that I can register the vehicle. She was missing a plate, one plate already. And in New York, as you know, if you have only one plate on it, you get tickets. It did start to collect tickets, but I was in constant contact with her son, her oldest son. And I told him, let your mom know that it's getting summonses on the vehicle. It's parked in front of my house. Her son has been to my house. He has done parties for me. He's a DJ. He has done parties for me. They know where I live. Okay, I said, tell your mom to, come pick up. She's right, I did speak to her kid's godfather, and he wanted to pick up the van, and I told him it's not a problem. Just bring the money. Every time I asked her about the $300, she says, I'm not, first she says, the money didn't clear. It never cleared in her bank. Mind you, according to this.
Right. It cleared.
It cleared 2 days.
It cleared.
After. But she said it never cleared. She says, I don't know what kind of check that was because it wasn't written out from you.
Right.
But she says, it's not going to clear because it's a third-party check and my bank doesn't take those. And so she's told me she never got the money. I didn't know at that point that she did get the money because this was written for my grandfather's bank.
Just a second.
Which I would
You cashed the check or you deposited the check. It's the same thing. Why didn't you give her back the money?
I told her at any time I would give her $300 back. I told her previously, before that, she had visited my house, she knew my kids, that my son wanted the car, even before she expressed that she was interested in buying it.
Miss Wilson,
And
you're
that-
talking
you know
apples
that.
and oranges. I said to her, why didn't you give her back the money?
I told her I would give it to her anytime. She refused the money. And then she told me that she didn't know where my van was. The tickets were
what
paid
happened?
on the van.
What happened to the van?
The tickets were paid on the van.
Show me proof.
Now,
Show me, just a second. Show me proof that you paid all the tickets on the van.
I don't have that right now.
What do you mean? If you don't have it right now, when do you expect to have it?
I didn't think she would bring this into it. The tickets has nothing to do with her stealing my van.
Just a second.
Taking
you're-
my van without paying me for it.
First of all, I believe her when she says that the purchase price was not $3,000. That's understandable.
Who would sell a van of this year that I just bought 6 months before that, which I have a receipt for $500?
Just a second. Listen to me. The van that you sold her was in the towing company because it wasn't running.
Wait a minute. The part that was put on it cost $40.
Listen to me.
That doesn't mean that the van was. And we went to the towing company to
Listen
pick
to
it
me
up.
very, very carefully. If you have a car that's not running and all it needs is, Miss Wilson,
Okay.
pay careful attention to me, madam.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a car that's not running and it needs a $40 part, you don't have a towing company come and pick it up and bring it to a towing company.
The reason why it was towed is because my son had the accident, so they took it as evidence to the towing company. But she told me that the part, I know the part was $40. But listen to this. When we went to pick the van up, she took me there in my car, in her friend's car, and the car was running. And then she says, wait a minute, I think it needs a part to get it away from me.
No, she's right.
Okay.
And then
She's right
she
with
took
that.
it the
It was-
car. Yeah, and then all of a sudden she takes the car to the Bronx. Then I get this check. She sold out to her wife.
Listen to me.
She's not telling you the true story.
Listen to me. Neither are you.
Oh, yes, I definitely am.
No. Neither are you.
I am telling the truth. It's my van. What do I have to lie for?
Where's her van? Was it towed?
Ma'am, I really, because I don't have any paperwork, I didn't have any paperwork. I couldn't even run
Well,
the plates
I
on it
do.
because I didn't have the VIN number on it to even see who had it, whether the marshals had it, whether the city sheriffs. I don't know.
When
it was never.
when was it taken off the street?
It stayed on the street until November.
Stayed for 6 months. Now, Miss Wilson, my next question to you is, within that 6-month period, what did you do to try to get back your van?
I had Mr. Leach call her, who was a community advocate, to try and come between and talk to her about giving me my van back. And she kept giving him stories off and on.
Just a
You
second.
can pick the van up.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go and get it if it was on the street?
Well, she's telling you a story that my son DJ'd for her like he knew her so well.
Listen to me.
She would not give us the address to go and
That's
pick
not
it up.
true.
She says, come
Your
and pick
Honor.
it up, and she never gave
Your Honor.
anybody. Here's a witness right here, Your Honor, that she said, come and pick the van up. She says, I'm going along with everything. Everything is fine. You can have your van back. I don't want your van. Have someone pick it up. I said, okay, Mr. Leach, you call her on the telephone.
Mr. Leach,
And
step up here,
Mr.
please.
Leach, would you step
Mr.
up,
Leach,
please? And
Sir, listen to me carefully. Shh. Miss Wilson,
Yeah.
I would like you to give me the months that you called the defendant with regard to this van.
Your Honor, I got a call somewhere around August, around maybe the beginning of August, somewhere around there, because Miss Wilson doesn't have a driver's license. And to try to resolve it, I spoke to the defendant, Miss Harris, to try to make arrangements to go pick it up. Well, she said, okay, you can come and pick up the vehicle. I says, okay, well, we'll pick it up the Wednesday or something. But something came up that I couldn't go and she couldn't
Just a
meet.
second.
Yeah,
She said, come and pick it up.
yes.
So the next question that an intelligent person would ask, and you sound like an intelligent person, sir, is, where do I go to pick it up?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I wasn't given a location.
Just a second.
Okay.
You knew where she lived.
No, I didn't.
Well, you had a telephone number. You spoke to her on the phone. You
Yeah, I
called
was
her.
speaking on
You spoke
on
to her on
her
the
cell
cell
phone.
number.
Cell
Okay.
phone.
Cell
Yeah,
number.
sure.
Okay. Now, the plaintiff's son knows the defendant.
But
Don't
not as well
speak.
as she said she does.
I didn't ask you a
For 5
question
years.
other than
Oh, come on,
your
like-
son knows the defendant.
Yes,
the answer
he
is
does.
yes.
Yes, he does.
Oh, okay. So you know where she lives.
No, we don't.
If you speak again when I'm not talking to you, I'm dismissing your claim. That's the rule, Miss Wilson. Do you understand? That's my ruling. The next time you speak out without my addressing a question to you, I am dismissing your claim. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. When you spoke to her, sir, and I want you to listen to me very carefully, you first said you spoke to her at the beginning of August, and you said, I'm going to come and pick up the van. And then you said something came up and I couldn't go. Is that right?
Correct.
So you must have known where to go, sir. If something came up and you said, I couldn't go, you're an intelligent person, Mr. Leach. Don't mess with me.
Yes. I
So
was,
you-
yeah, okay.
so
I was
you knew
advised by the defendant that my godson knows where she lives. Okay.
Fine.
Then
So-
we made another arrangement.
Just a second.
Sure. Okay.
So he knows where she lives, and that's where the van was. Is that right?
Correct.
So then we don't have an issue as to where she lives, and you didn't know where to go.
Okay.
When was the next time you called her?
It probably was about Friday, and I'd asked my godson, "Do you know where she lives?" He goes, "I've only been there one time. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know the number or whatever."
I don't believe that.
So-
I don't believe that
Yeah.
for a minute, Mr.
But I'm just
Lee.
saying that's exactly what happened.
I don't
So-
believe that for a second. But you made another
All right,
appointment.
I made,
to go?
made another arrangement. This time she couldn't keep the
When
appointment.
was that?
It was probably the following Friday.
Okay, so that you remember.
Right.
Good. And what happened?
And at that point, she wasn't able to make it, and I had nothing to do with it after that. That was finished. I had nothing else to do with it.
So now my question comes back to, you have the paperwork on this van, Miss Wilson. So you have the title, you have the registration. The defendant does not. Between August and November, when she says the van was towed, why didn't you take another key? And don't tell me you didn't have another key, because if you didn't have another key, you take a locksmith with you. They go in, you say, this is my van, here's my papers. I lost my key. You take the van and go.
Your
And she
Honor.
sues you for $300 for the deposit.
Your Honor, the reason why I didn't do that is because I asked my son for the address since they never gave, both of them spoke to Mr. Leach. Neither one of them would give him the address, but they kept on saying, come and get it, come and get it. Like, where is he supposed to get it from? My son said he does not remember her address. He knows she lives in the Bronx.
Can I tell you why her son said that? Her
Maybe
son
he
said
took the
that,
van.
and I'm really gonna get him in trouble right now. But her son, both her sons, her oldest son and her middle child, both said the reason why we won't tell our mother, even when she filed the small claims, they had the wrong address. They know my address. The reason why they didn't give her the address was because they said it was foul how my mom sold you the van and then wanted to take it back to give us to our younger brother who doesn't deserve it.
My sons know you're a thief.
I have no reason.
They
I'm an
know
officer.
you're a
I have no
thief.
reason to
And
steal
that's
a van.
a
I have a
reason why you
car.
should have brought it back,
Ma'am, I
because
have.
you're an officer.
I have a car.
Listen to me.
I have a car.
Just a second, Miss Harris.
Yes.
Miss Harris, I don't really feel badly about doing this because I don't believe Miss Wilson has a claim. But she just violated my rule, which was if I wasn't speaking to her, she was not supposed to speak. This is a courtroom. This is not her playground. Now, so I do not believe that you owe her $3,000, which is what she's suing for, and you don't have the van. And she spoke when she was directed not to. Your case.
Fighter Gary Parker is suing his daughter's former friend, 21-year-old electrical technician Carlos Martinez, for totaling a car. Carlos says when Gary's daughter loaned him the car, she knew he was a reckless driver.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 370 on the calendar in the matter of Parker versus Martinez. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Parker, which one of your daughters loaned her car to the defendant?
Jennifer, be that one right there.
Step up, Jennifer. How do you know the defendant?
I used to work with Carlos, and he dated my best friend.
And when did you tell him he could use your car?
I let him use it on August 10th.
Was it the first time you let him use your car?
I let him borrow it to go to his sister's house one time. And
So it wasn't the first time?
No.
Did your father know you were lending him the car?
No, he did not.
Were you under instructions not to let anybody use your car?
Yes, I was.
So why did you let Carlos use the car?
Because the situation he was in, he was supposed to go to a court in Enfield, and he had no other way of getting there, and I felt bad for him. I didn't want him to get in any trouble. And he said that if he didn't go to court, he'd have an arrest warrant out for him.
Oh,
And so I felt bad.
what'd you have to go to court for, Carlos?
A group of us.
It's not an answer.
Nah, it's not. But a group of us, including her, we were at a party with a whole bunch of internationals that come to work at Six Flags. And for me, trying to round up everybody so we can get out of there because the cops had shown up and telling everybody to leave unless you belong to the campus, the cops said, we're going to start with you because I was outside, so he arrested me, threw me in the car.
That's not true, Your Honor. We were at the party, and the cops told us we had to be inside.
Inside where?
Just inside the buildings, and they told everyone they wanted us in the building just because we were being loud and everything. And as long as we stayed inside, there wouldn't be a problem with it. Carlos didn't want to stay inside. He felt that he could be outside if he wanted to, and that's why he was arrested.
I think that's false. I remember the cops saying that they wanted everybody out because everybody was trashed out their minds.
What happened at your court hearing, Carlos?
It got, like, waved off, continuance without finding, nothing really, because it was like I didn't really do nothing. I was just outside.
This was the first time you were ever arrested, Carlos?
No.
So you needed Jennifer's car to go to a court hearing.
Yes.
So what happened? You went to court?
I went to court.
And everything was fine. Yeah. And then you left court, and what happened, Carlos?
I was coming back, going through Springfield, and I went to take a left on the street, ran a stop sign, and hit a car to get back on the highway to go back to Six Flags to drop off her car.
Was anybody injured?
No, thank God.
I wasn't so concerned about you. I was concerned about the other people
So
in
was
the
I.
car. Why did you run the stop sign, Carlos?
And I don't know. I probably didn't see it, or I don't know.
Yes.
I think I can shine some light on this. He was being followed by the police. He was cited for failure to stop for a police officer, running a stop sign. He was passing cars, trying to lose him. He took the corner so fast that not only did he not stay in his lane, he went to the other lane, T-boned this car, and flipped it over.
Does that sound right to you?
No.
Well,
Were you being followed by the police?
Nope.
You have a police report?
yes.
I'd like to see it, please.
On the back, there's a date with a pre-trial conference that he had.
Take your hands out your pocket, please.
There's also 2 independent reports that are with that from eyewitnesses. He got out of the car and ran after he T-boned the car in the other lane.
Carlos, when this accident happened, you jumped out of the car and started to run?
No.
Huh?
No.
You weren't pursued by the police?
No.
Really?
Really.
Surprising. All these people must be wrong. Were you driving a green car?
That was her car, yes.
Was the other car green?
No.
The driver of the green sports car got out and ran east on Union Street. The police chased after him.
I was nowhere near Union Street. I was on Main Street.
Well, maybe if I change Union Street to Main Street, you would find it more accurate.
No, because I was parked at a Dunkin' Donuts, so I don't see where you would get Union Street if you knew the area.
I'm not talking Union Street. I'm talking about being pursued by the police, Carlos.
Regardless the fact is not about
Were
the police
you-
chasing me. The fact is that
I'm asking
here,
you a question.
and I'm answering you.
Were you pursued by the police?
No.
On foot?
No.
Afterwards? No. These people are so mistaken. In any event, this car was an old car. It was 16 years old, and according to you, it was totaled.
I have pictures of it if you'd like to see before and
Sure.
after. I'd refurbished the car for my daughter. It was in pretty nice shape beforehand.
Well, that's why Carlos wanted to borrow it. It's in nice shape. Or it was in nice shape.
Yeah, you got to the other pictures.
Now it is no longer in nice shape. Now it is a total disaster. A total wreck. Okay. You know what the book value is on the car?
Yes, Your Honor. I went online to Kelly's Blue Book, which is probably the leading authority on book values. I got 2 of them. One was a trade-in value, one was a resale value. The lower one was a trade-in value. That was the one I used, along with the towing bill. We had to get it home. She had her clothes and school books and everything inside it.
Okay, so the whole thing is $925.
For the car,
Right.
yes.
And you had, I assume, no collision insurance.
No.
Carlos, why don't you feel as if you have any responsibility for this car?
Because, Your Honor, she's lent me the car plenty of times before, not only once, more than 7 times I know she's lent me the car.
Yes.
Not only to go to court, not only to go to my sister's, but for other reasons.
Yes.
She knew how my driving was.
What do you mean how the driving was?
I'll tell you straight up, I'm a reckless driver. You know, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, let me ask you this question, Carlos. In the other 7 times that she lent you the car, were you ever in an accident?
Nope.
So that based upon your history of driving our car, she would have no reason to think you wouldn't be as careful on the 8th time as you were on the first 7 times. Let's move on to the other reasons why you don't think you're responsible.
For the simple fact that when the accident did happen and I did get in contact with her, she had told me that she was happy that I was all right and that it wasn't the other way around.
What a nice girl.
Yeah.
She was happy that you were okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Darn it.
and
He also-
shh. I'm listening to Carlos. So she was happy you were okay, and
And this was at another party when I had seen her, and she was like, well, let's not even talk about it. I'm here to get trashed, and that's what we did.
Okay, and?
That was about it. But she didn't contact me about no matters or nothing.
So your first defense is that when you called and told her about the accident, she said, I'm very glad you're not hurt.
He never called and told me.
Shh! That's the first thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't a phone call, it was that person.
In person. So she said, I'm really glad you're not hurt.
Yeah.
So that's your first defense. And your second defense is she knew that you weren't a good driver. And your third defense is that when you met at a party sometime later, she said, I don't want to talk about it now, let's get trashed.
Yes.
Do you go to school?
I went to college. I'm not going no more.
Well, maybe you should go back.
Why?
Because you can't speak English. I don't go no more is not English. I don't go to college anymore is English.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gary Parker says Carlos Martinez wrecked his daughter's car while running from the police. Carlos is denying all charges.
One of the things that I find most irritating about you is that you borrowed a car, you had an accident, but it wasn't an accident. In your case, it was an on purpose, because you, on purpose, ran a stop sign, was speeding, and you destroyed her car. And instead of being a man and accepting responsibility and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I did that, you know, I will work, whatever I have to do, pay you back slowly for the cost of the car, you come up with these lame excuses and present them to me in shattered English. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,125. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She trusted me for giving me the car.
There was no reason for me not to trust him.
Right there, she's responsible right there.
We all make mistakes and accidents. You just have to own up to them and take care of them when it happens.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lawrence versus Goss. Step forward, please.
Home care nurse Darius Lawrence is suing her roommate, real estate agent Ron Goss, for unpaid cleaning and landscaping services. Ron has a countersuit for unpaid rent.
Miss Lawrence, according to your complaint, you answered an ad in the newspaper for a roommate, and you moved in with the defendant. Is that right?
Yes.
And you claim a rather interesting arrangement, that you came to an agreement with the defendant that instead of paying rent, you would do housework and landscaping around the house.
What it was is I would do rent and trade with bill credit if I needed to ask.
What does that mean,
In
rent
other
and
words,
trade?
The rent was $275 plus utilities, and if I did work for him, he would give me credit off my rent and my utilities.
And your lawsuit says that you did so much work around the house that he owes you money.
And landscaping.
And landscaping that he owes you money.
And I paid products to keep the home together, and I bought food, kept the refrigerator full.
The defendant says that there was no such arrangement except for 1 month when he did give you a credit for doing some cleaning because you were short of money. He is counterclaiming not only for the rent that you owe him, but also because he says that you forced out 2 other tenants because of your bizarre behavior. So that's what this case is about. All right. When did you see the ad in the paper?
On May 4th.
When did you move in?
The 29th of May.
And what kind of property is it?
It's a house that he sold to a friend of his.
And you had your own room?
Yes.
And full use of the house? Other than that?
Yes.
When did you move out?
I haven't. We still live there together in the residence.
I'm in the process, Your Honor, of evicting her. I gave her a 30-day notice on November 3rd. She was to be out December 3rd. She didn't leave, so then I had to go and do a forced eviction. Yesterday, we were at the courthouse for her to get out. She does not want to leave. She has not paid me a single dime of rent since September 8th.
So you're still living together?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How unpleasant. Okay. Tell me about this first conversation that you had with him with regard to the rent.
He asked me what type of things do I do. I told him I'm a professional cleaner. I do landscaping, and I would do a trade private house cleaning, his laundry, his basic chores, etc. I told him I would keep the refrigerator full, do the cooking.
What kind of reduction in rent would that be?
I thought an honorable fair trade when I came to him and requested it.
Miss Lawrence, you always pick a dollar amount. If you pay someone for cleaning your home, that's so much. So you tell me, is what you're saying that you had no fixed amount that you would have your rent reduced by doing these chores?
Well, I explained to him landscaping I thought was a fair deal. Each week was $25 a week. And for a home his size, I thought $10 an hour was fair for private and professional cleaning.
Okay. And you explained that to him. You said $10 an hour for professional cleaning and $25 for landscaping. Is that what you said to him?
Yes, I explained that to him.
Just look at me. Don't look down.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you explain how many hours you thought it would take to clean the house?
No, ma'am.
You didn't. So it was sort of open-ended. If you decided to really clean for 5 hours a day or 3 hours a day, it would be $30 a day, and you did that every day. So you would keep a running tag of how much work you did in the house, and at the end of the month, you would probably be presenting him a bill.
That's what I was trying to do with him.
And so now you claim that he owes you $3,266 for the cleaning and landscaping services that you performed from May until now.
That's correct.
And for a refund of rent because you did give him some money in rent.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, of course, want that back because why would you pay him anything if you were doing all this work, right?
Well, I wasn't going to try to be greedy and want all the rent back. I just wanted a fair adjustment with him, but he wouldn't come to the dickering table and read my receipts.
And $1,650 should have been paid for rent. And how much did you actually pay him?
What I calculated I came up with is $1,200.
How much did she pay you in rent, sir?
I'd say $485 to $500 is what she gave me in the
So let's say $500. That's being generous.
Yes.
It's $1,100 owing on rent. Okay. Did you have a conversation, Mr. Gauze, with Miss Lawrence about doing this house cleaning for $10 an hour and landscaping for $25 an hour?
First off, Judge, she came in May 15th with no upfront rent or deposits. I told her I would take off $125 the first month to help her out, and I was to get $150 within the next month. She was getting unemployment checks at the time. She was going to pay me weekly with those checks. It was very sporadic, $30, maybe 3 weeks, $40, another 3 weeks. She never gave me a full month's rent ever. And in the meantime, I had 2 roommates move in. One, June 1, which would be about 2 weeks after she came. He could only make it 2 weeks because she drove him out of the house. She likes to control the house like it's hers, and he couldn't take it. So I lost rent from him. And then another roommate came in about August. He lasted 3 weeks. He had to leave because of her also.
I'm not entertaining that part of your lawsuit, sir. Let's talk about answering my question. When she didn't pay you rent, say, the second month, did you have a conversation with her?
Yes, I wanted her to leave. I said I could not afford her. I said I want to rent a room for money, not for services. I could not afford her. I told her that in the summertime.
And what did she say?
She just kept assuming that I could, and she kept doing the jobs, and I wanted her to leave since August.
When you say she kept doing the jobs, did you ask her to do any work?
No, I told her I could not afford her many times. I said I just want the rent that was stated.
When, for the first time, did you tell her that you wanted her out?
I would say about 1st of August, after the second guy left. He was wanting to stay, and I was trying to get rid of her then. So it's been quite a while since I've been trying to get her out. So then I had to do it with the court process.
I'm going to go back to my initial question to you, Mr. Gauze. Did you ever sit down and discuss with her that she would charge you what she considered fair, $10 an hour for cleaning and $25 for landscaping?
No.
Did that conversation ever take place?
No.
Of course it didn't. You couldn't even look me straight in the eye and give me that line. Miss Lawrence, you moved into this gentleman's house and you have not paid rent. Another judge won't tell you. I will. He wants you to pay rent or get out. He's told you that now for 5 months. So my question to you is, why don't you move?
I paid rent. Here's my rent receipts.
Let me see your receipts. Those are rent receipts. Is that what you're showing me?
Rent receipts?
Just
Yes.
listen, before she hands me that stack of papers, are you showing me rent receipts?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. What's this $72, the first thing?
When I give him cash, I write on the back of my receipt, I paid rent. And then I have money orders from my credit union, money orders from the check exchange, and those are the receipts.
No, those are not receipts. That's baloney. I don't know what some other judge is going to buy of your story. I don't buy this. This is a money order, and this was for $40. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Allegedly to him. Then we have some more of these $25. So every time you took cash out of a machine, you consider this a rent receipt.
What he did is took cash and money orders. He took both.
Baloney. You're a hustler. This is all garbage. Has nothing to do with rent. Now, Miss Lawrence, why don't you move? Is my question. He's not happy. You can't be happy. Why are you imposing yourself on this man and not paying rent?
Because he offered me honorable fair trade and he broke his agreement.
You're full of baloney, madam. You made up a story when you said to me that you had an agreement that he would pay you $10 an hour for cleaning and $25 for landscaping. That's baloney. It doesn't make sense. It defies common sense. I would have to say that he's a lunatic for doing that. You keep the records of how much you earn. At the end of the month, you present him a bill for $500 and say, you owe me money. I don't owe you money, you owe me money. He doesn't look like a nut to me. So your claim is dismissed. It's baloney. You owe him $1,100 in rent. On the counterclaim, that's what I'm awarding you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step in.
Is suing his ex-fiancée, Betty Sestella, for the return of an engagement ring and wedding band and unauthorized bank withdrawals. Betty is countersuing for the cost of an engagement necklace and for the return of her money.
Order. All rise. Yes, case number 322 on the calendar in the matter of Pritchard versus Sestella. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, the engagement didn't work out. Why can't you two folks just, put a period and get on with your lives? Any reason? You want your engagement/wedding ring set back.
Yes, ma'am.
And you claim that the defendant also took money out of a bank account.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant wants her engagement necklace back that she gave you. She wants reimbursement for some jewelry that you pawned of hers. And she wants a return of money that she said she put in your joint bank account that you were supposed to be saving. Were you living together when you were engaged?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you give her the engagement ring?
May 11th.
Tell me the circumstances around you giving her the engagement ring. Was it a surprise?
No, ma'am. She went with me and picked out the rings and helped
She
negotiate
went to the store
price.
with you?
That's correct.
So far, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me about this engagement necklace. When did you get that?
I believe it was in April.
It was May, actually, May 3rd, that I purchased the necklace.
May 3rd. But you gave it to him before you got your engagement ring.
Yes, ma'am. It was at the jewelry store that we were going to purchase my engagement ring at.
I want you to tell me the circumstances surrounding you giving him the necklace.
Okay. We had broke up at one point, and he had pawned my wedding band from my ex-husband, his gold chain, and a Texas ring of his. He told me when I got the stuff out of the pawn that for me to go ahead and give the gold chain of his to my eldest son. So that's what I did. So whenever we were looking at jewelry there at the jewelry...
So you got the jewelry out of the pawn shop?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was it to get the jewelry out of the
$180.
So you had all the pieces of jewelry in your possession?
Yes.
Do you still?
The only thing that I still have is the necklace.
What happened to the other property?
I gave it back to him.
Including your wedding band?
No, this is my wedding band from my ex-husband.
Well, so you kept that?
Right, because that was not from him. It wasn't his.
No, I understand that, but you kept that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you kept the gold necklace?
Correct.
What kind of gold necklace is it?
It's a Figaro chain.
Can I see it, please?
And he told me to give it to my oldest son, Jeremy.
Okay.
So, in which I got it back from Jeremy.
Okay. Fine. Let's get to the necklace that you got him. Did you buy it on the day that you bought the engagement rings?
No, ma'am, because we went to another jewelry store and found something less expensive, and we purchased those, which was just a few days within one another.
How much did you pay for this necklace?
$525.
You have the receipt for it?
It's on the back of my check. They did it like if it was a credit card. And it's from North Lake Jewelers, which it says on the back.
Mm-hmm. And do you have the receipt from the engagement rings?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see them, please? Okay. Where is the necklace?
It's at home.
You want your rings back? Your rings are clearly more expensive than the necklace.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you give her the necklace back and she'll give you the rings back?
Well, because it was not an engagement gift. It was a gift to replace.
A gift to replace what?
Part of her story's online, but the necklace part, I didn't tell her to give it to her son till after she had already gotten it out of pawn, and I knew it was in her possession at that time. She wasn't going to give it to me anyway.
Because you were fighting at that point?
That's correct.
Yeah.
But when we got back together, I did tell her, you know, I want my necklace because I was afraid she had given it to somebody else.
What did you do with the money that you pawned the stuff for?
I bought groceries and stuff for her and her kids.
Is that right?
No, I don't know when he pawned it or what he did with the money.
Let me ask you this question.
I don't know.
You were living together for a period of time, for this period of time, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working? Working. And
At
you
that
tell
moment?
me where, for whom, and how much you were earning. So my question is, at the time he pawned the jewelry, were you employed?
I believe I was.
Believe
and
you
the reason,
were.
the reason I say is because it's been almost a year.
Well,
So-
I want you to think back. Think back.
I was
Pawned the
working.
jewelry?
Yeah, I was working as
For who?
for the state of Texas. I was a boot camp drill instructor.
What were you earning?
I was earning $7.25 an hour.
How many children do you have?
I have 3.
Can't support yourself and 3 children on $7.25 an hour.
No, ma'am. My children live with their father
So it was just the 2 of you?
and his 2 children.
Ah. So was she in fact working as a drill instructor at that point, sir?
No, she had already quit, but her kids came for visitation, and at that weekend was in between my pay periods, and we didn't have any money. And all 3 of them came, and we needed some money.
Okay. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a private investigator.
So if you want these rings back, and if you want to terminate this relationship in a most agreeable and less stressful manner as possible, why don't you just give her back the necklace? She's going to give you back the rings, and then we've resolved part of this lawsuit.
Because I like the necklace.
Is it worth more than $2,500?
No, ma'am.
That's what you paid for the rings. That sounds fair to me, doesn't it?
If you feel that, I don't.
I sure do. So you're going to give her back the necklace, and she's going to give you back the rings. Then we've taken care of that. Now let's talk about the money. You say she took some money out of a bank account?
Yes, ma'am.
$600?
$662, some in that neighborhood. Yes.
Tell
ma'am.
me about that.
Well, it's my bank account, and the only money that was in that bank account was money that people had written me checks for cars or something. No money of hers ever went in that bank account.
Was it a joint bank account?
I did put her on the bank account, that's correct. But when she left, I requested the ATM cards and the credit cards.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Curtis Pritchard says ex-fiancée Betty Sestala refuses to give back his engagement ring and wedding band. Curtis also says Betty helped herself to his bank account.
I'll hear you.
Every week that I got paid, I gave Curtis my money. I worked from May 11th to August 9th.
3 months.
Yes, ma'am. I made $8,400. I didn't spend $8,000 in living expenses and stuff.
How much did you spend?
I don't know.
Well, how do I know?
Well, the reason that I say that is there's no way I could have possibly spent $8,000. I'm not a high-maintenance girl.
I don't know whether you are, whether you're not, but if you have a joint bank account and you're putting money in, and I assume you were putting money
No
in the
money
account?
went into the bank account.
What?
No, none of her pay ever went in the bank account.
Well, what happened with her $8,400? What happened with her $8,000?
She would get paid. She would give me some of her money, not all of it. She gave me some of her money. That's true.
Well, how much did she give you?
I couldn't be exactly sure, but you know, she's telling she gave me some of her money. But I mean, it would cost $600 to $800 every time she wanted to go visit her kids, hotel, food. She'd go shopping all the time.
So it would be a fair statement that you commingled your funds.
That's
Is
correct.
That a fair
Yes, ma'am.
statement? And you're not married.
That's correct.
No, he's divorced as of yesterday.
Well, but you're not married now.
No, ma'am.
You folks cannot expect to come to court and have somebody else unravel these very intricate financial woes that you managed to get yourself into. And what I said at the start of this case was, you're 2 people, you started a relationship, it didn't work out, why can't you just put a period and move on? You clearly spent money during that 3-month period.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know whether you went to visit your children like he says you did, and he has no proof of what you spent. So I would be doing a guest job, and I don't do guest jobs.
Your Honor, the day that he kicked me out, told me to get the F out, I left walking, and I went without a dime, without any clothes but what I had on my back.
Just a
A
second.
strange man picked me up on the side of the road, and
Listen to me. You don't get compensated for that. You've had an on-again, off-again with this man clearly for a long time.
And he's the one that's made the money off of it, because I don't have a dime because he has it all.
Next time you should know better.
I've also sent her money when she needed it. She called me, asked me. I've got MoneyGrams where I sent her money.
Let me see.
So, I mean, it's not like this is in addition to that $600 she took. Plus, I just gave her $2,900 just a few days ago.
On the 1st of October of this year, did he send you $200?
Yes, ma'am.
What for?
For me to, I had my children that weekend. My son had a paintball competition.
And you
he
called
sent-
and asked him for money and he sent it?
No, I didn't call him. He called me.
So he called you and you said you needed money?
No, I didn't. He asked me if I needed any money.
Fine. So he sent you $200 on the 1st. Then I have another transfer here to you in September. The end of September for another $300. What was that for?
For just basic living expenses, because I went there without a dime.
He's not responsible for you.
No, he's not. And he
He's
never
not
has
responsible.
been.
He's not a. He doesn't sound like a cad to me.
Well,
Did he give you? Did he give you other? Shh, did he give you other money just last week?
No.
Are you lying to me?
No, I'm not. I have no reason to lie about it.
Well, I think you do. In any event, I'm going to cut the following order. Mr. Pritchard, listen to me, sir. You're going to part with that great necklace. You're going to give it back to her within 5 days, and she's going to part with the rings. You have one that you're wearing now?
That's the only one that I have.
Where's the other one?
He has it.
Take the ring off. Give it to Bird.
There's other things that you're not hearing that makes him not sound like such a cad. That's not it, that I couldn't sue him for here, from where he borrowed $5,000 from me, and he sold the truck that he had gotten a loan on, and I've not got that. I got $600 of that, which I have the paperwork in my purse.
Mr. Pritchard, you want her son to have this necklace or you want it back?
No, Jeremy can have it.
Give it back to her. You're to get the engagement necklace back to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep it simple. That's all.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
I don't think that it's right that a man can keep everything he earned.
Didn't go quite like I thought, but I believe she was fair.
He wasn't working, and there was no money, and I had to make a living.
We're both kind of hard-headed, I guess.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Adams versus Canham. Step forward, please.
18-year-old student Jennifer Adams is suing her former classmate, 17-year-old student Christy Canham, for breaking her ankle during a fight.
Miss Adams, according to your complaint, the defendant assaulted you, you were injured, you want to be compensated. That's what the case is about. How do you know her?
We went to grammar school and the high school together.
Where did this assault take place?
At Annie's house.
At this young lady's house?
Yeah.
When?
October 2nd, 2001.
What was the dispute about?
The dispute was over a CD, but there's more to it. In August of this year, we had a get-together also at Annie's house, where everybody had gone in the house except for Christy and my fiance. And after everyone was inside, she said something to the extent of, fiance or not, I've had guys cheat on their girlfriends with me before. So he came in the house and he told me about it and didn't do anything about it at that time. We all went to bed, and we hadn't seen each other really during this time from August to October when the incident happened. My CDs had been left at the restaurant where she works, and somebody had gone through them.
You went to the restaurant where she works?
No.
Who left the CDs at the restaurant where she works?
Her little brother had my CDs, left them at the restaurant. Somebody went through them and took out a whole bunch of CDs, but she took one and took it to Hawaii with her.
So she had one of your CDs?
Yes.
Okay.
So I went out to Annie's on October 2nd.
What did you go to Annie's for?
Because we're friends.
Was she expecting you?
It was just we go out there all the time. Nobody expects anyone.
The defendant was there?
Yes.
Did you know the defendant was going to be
No.
there? So when you walked into the house, who was present?
Annie, Jimmy, and Stephanie.
Who's Stephanie?
And she's another friend of ours.
And the defendant?
Yes.
What happened when you got there?
When I got there, I walked in the door. Christy was standing on the opposite side of the room. I asked her where my CD was. She just kind of stood there looking at me, and I said, "You heard me, where is my CD?" She said, "At my house." And I said, "Well, you better get it." And she asked why I was yelling at her. I said, because I didn't like her anyways, and her stealing my CD was the last straw. She asked me why I didn't like her. There was more arguing during this time, but when I said that I didn't like her, I said it was because she was a scandalous. And I went to walk into the kitchen, and I turned my back. She was sitting in a chair.
So she was sitting?
Yes, she was sitting. By this time, she was sitting.
Shh. Was she sitting at the time that you came in and started calling her names?
No.
She was standing?
Yes.
But then she sat down?
Yes.
Okay, so you're walking into another room, she's sitting?
Yes.
What happened next?
So I went to walk into the kitchen. I saw her out of the corner of my eye come at me. So I turned around, she went to hit me. I blocked her hit, put her in a headlock. So I had her in a headlock, and she was hitting me and I was hitting her. She couldn't get away from me, so she turned me sideways, pushed me to the ground, snapping my ankle in 2 places. And Annie came over and pulled her off of me. When she did, Christy kicked me while I was on the ground. And then Annie helped me up. I walked into their computer room because that's where Stephanie was. It was about 10 feet. And Annie came in to see if I was all right, and I said, "No, you need to take me to the emergency room. I can't walk." Jimmy came and picked me up and carried me to the car. While he was carrying me to the car, she was standing on the steps of the front of their house, yelling, "You stupid, get back here, I'm gonna kick your ass." I couldn't even stand.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy puts me in the car, and we're going to the emergency room. I told Annie, I said, "She hit me first." Annie goes, "I know, but she's only 17.
She didn't hit you first. It's not what you just told me. It's not what you just told me at all. You said she went to hit you, and you grabbed her and put her in a headlock.
She went to hit me, and I blocked her hit. She was still coming at me, and that's why I put her in a headlock.
That's not what you said to me. You said, according to you, she went to hit you, you blocked her, and put her in a headlock. That's what you just told me.
And I put her in a headlock because she was still coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
And we were
what did you
hitting
do
each other.
when you put her in a headlock?
She was hitting me, and I was hitting her.
So you had a fight?
Yes.
And you got the worst of it?
Not. She pushed me to the ground and busted my ankle.
She pushed you to the ground during the course of a fight that you started.
She came at me.
She pushed you to the ground during the course of a fight that you started.
I was walking away from the situation, and she came at me from
after you had
behind.
started it.
So
if you were going to testify, is that what you would testify to? Exactly what she said? Huh?
Yes.
Perfect. Somebody's going to always get the worst of a fight. Isn't that right, Bird?
It's usually how it happens, Judge.
Usually how it happens. This time you got the worst of the fight. You walked into your friend's house and created a scene, and you didn't get any response from her the first time. You said to her, "Give me the blank CD. Give me the blank CD." Then, clearly, according to you, I'm not even going to her. According to you, she was standing, but then she sat down.
Mm-hmm.
And then you continued to call her names.
We were yelling at each other.
She didn't start yelling at you. You walked in and immediately, according to you, started to call her foul names. Right?
Yeah.
So you got a broken ankle? Huh? You got a broken ankle during the course of the fight?
Yes.
That's what happens. Suck it up. That's all.
All these are excuses. You made Steph.
McDaniel says her daughter, Glenda Julius, owes for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Bourbon claims Glenda received aid from the state and refuses to give her the money.
All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 201 on the calendar in the matter of McDaniel versus Julius. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Ms. McDaniel, the defendant is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Your complaint is really a simple one. And your complaint is that you made 2 loans to your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And she has not paid you back. Your daughter says that these were not loans, they were really gifts. But the matter becomes more complicated because of the nature of the loans that you claim to your daughter. Miss Julius, you had a daughter who was murdered.
Yes, ma'am.
When was she murdered?
September 24th. She was found dead in her room.
In your home?
In her home.
Has the perpetrator of that murder ever been found?
There are 3 people apprehended as of right now for first-degree murder.
How old was your daughter?
17.
According to you, Miss McDaniel, you went to where your daughter was living, and your daughter did not have money for a burial.
That's right.
You agreed to loan her the money for the burial.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, your daughter, who was not happy staying in the same house where her daughter was murdered, which is quite understandable because people had not been apprehended at that time, asked if she could relocate, and you agreed to loan her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
So that she could relocate. What was the extent of those 2 sums of money? The funeral was how much?
$4,582.27.
And how much did you advance your daughter to relocate?
$1,487.68.
The matter becomes more complicated because at some point, Ms. Julius, you ascertained that there was a crime victim's compensation that you could apply for.
The DA.
The DA?
From Carroll County.
Told you what?
Told me that there was a victim's fund relief.
And what was it for?
It was for expenses for Jessica's death. And I have been making payments.
Just a second. Expenses for Jessica's death?
Yes.
Which included her burial?
Which my mother gave as a gift.
Listen to me very carefully.
Which included, yes.
So the state of Tennessee had a fund which provided for the survivors of victims of violent crime to give them money so that they could pay for burial?
Yes.
And other related expenses?
Yes.
You applied for that?
Yes.
And you got a check?
Yes.
How much was the check?
One was $5,300 and the other one was $1,024.
Can I see the paperwork surrounding those 2 checks, please?
There was a few gas expenses.
Can I see the paperwork for the...
This is exactly what
Bert, I'll take a look
but
at
I
it.
have more different, I have receipts to where I have been paying my mother.
Just a second. They paid you $5,307.27 for the funeral. And then there are other related expenses, moving expenses. Are you telling me that you have proof that you gave some of this money to your mother?
Yes, I have.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have receipts. Here, this is for money orders. She told me that her payments were 70 and 40. I talked to my sister Gail that's standing next to her over the telephone. She was in California. I talked to her and she said, have you been giving her money? I said, yeah. She told me 70 and 40 on her credit cards. And that's exactly, I've been giving her a little bit more.
Well, I see what you're talking about. You gave her $30, $40.
And it started on 11/3, excuse me.
I understand that, but these are very small amounts of money. When did you get the check from the state?
In April. She told me it was on credit cards, and as long as I was helping her out, there was no lump sum that I was supposed to give her. She knew I would have to go home. I have a headstone to purchase for my daughter, which is $910, and I'm working at a minimum wage job. I moved out because it was so unbearable to live with her in her house.
Let's go back a second. You got this money, which is about $6,500. What did you do with it?
I've been living on it. And also, I have money set aside to buy Jessica's stone and money set aside to go home.
Well,
because I cannot live.
Just a second. You just told me that the stone is $900.
$910.
Fine. And did you order it?
I've already talked to...
Yes. Don't play with me.
Yes.
Did you order it?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
Not as of yet.
Why not?
Because she started this lawsuit.
What's the name of the company that's going to do the stone?
Memorial Gardens.
Well, you certainly have $900 for the stone because you got $6,500. And my problem with you, Miss Julius, is because this is not a very difficult case. Whether your mother said to you, as you allege in your answer, that's the least I can do to give you the money for the funeral, right? That's what she alleges you said to her, or not. The good people of the state of Tennessee did not provide this money for you to live on. The good people of the state of Tennessee wanted to ensure that your daughter had an appropriate burial. So you cannot take their money and do what you want with it. You have to take their money and pay for her funeral. That's what it was earmarked for by the state. Because whether you and your mother, according to you, you colluded to defraud the state by her signing papers that said she's going to pay me back, and she really didn't mean that you were going to pay her back, that's a fraud on the state. I can't sanction that. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your family has had sufficient amount of sadness to last for a lifetime. And even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone. And then some.
And later today,
when they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car. Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bourbon McDaniel is suing her daughter, Glenda Julius, for the cost of her granddaughter's funeral. Glenda says her mother is heartless.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm working in a dry cleaners. I'm having trouble dealing with the public.
What kind of work did you do before your daughter's death?
I was working in a convenience store, third shift.
Your mother paid for the funeral. According to the claim that you put into the criminal injuries compensation claim for Jessica Dawn Julius, the funeral was $5,307.27. That's what you told the state, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the funeral was actually $45.82?
The difference was donations from the school where Jessica went.
What?
I have a paper that states each and every one that gave donation to the funeral.
Can I see it, please?
Yes. The family that Jessica was, Lisa Stevens' family, were there and willing, and the whole town was willing to help out with this. My mother is the one that wanted me to move. I left everything I owned.
Listen to me. I'm not talking about the moving. I'm talking about the fact that you cannot take this money and live on it. I have to make a judgment whether the person who actually paid for the funeral, and that's your mother, or you who did not pay for the funeral, are the rightful recipients of this money from the state, which is earmarked for your daughter's burial expenses. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And there were some very nice people from the town who also sent checks in for the funeral. But that's not the issue. The issue really is a very simple one. Whether your mother, at the time that your daughter died, and I believe that she probably did, say to you, this is a terrible time. I don't want you to worry about the funeral. I'll take care of it. Because that's what a parent does. But then when you found out that there was a possibility, because you said that the district attorney told you that there was a fund, that was after your daughter was buried, correct?
Yes.
So after your mother laid out that money, and probably would not have sought to recoup it because you have limited circumstances, that'd be a fair statement. But after she found out that you were going to get this money from the state for the funeral, the right thing for you to do was to give it back to her.
I've been giving her close to $1,500.
No. That may have been fine, Miss Julius, giving her $30, giving her $70, until you got $6,500. Once you got $6,500, you had to say, Mom, clean up the credit card, pay it off, because that's what this check was supposed to be used for.
Yes,
Do we
ma'am.
understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Let's not pursue this any further. Your family has had sufficient amount of sadness to last for a lifetime. So you have the money, and even if your mother is awarded the $5,000, you still have money left over for the headstone, and then some, right? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I love my daughter. Love my granddaughter.
It was a gift to bury Jessica.
She's using it very foolishly, but she'll have to live with that for the rest of her life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Savage versus Balding.
Nancy Savage is suing the mother of her grandson, Melissa Balding, for bail money. Nancy says Melissa and her son were arrested on drug charges.
All right, everybody listen very carefully, because this is a long saga to get to a simple question. Miss Savage, I assume this is your son.
Yes, it is.
This is his girlfriend.
Yes, it is.
Ex-girlfriend.
True.
They have a child together.
True.
She doesn't have custody of the child. He doesn't have custody of the child. One of your other children has custody of the child, because both of these two people were in somebody's opinion, not capable of taking care of this child. According to your complaint, some time ago, your son was driving your car with her in the car. When did that happen?
About a year ago, a little over a year ago.
Let's have a month.
April 30th, 2004.
He's not your only child, is he?
No.
Perfect. It's a perfect example of don't put all your eggs in one basket. When they got pulled over, there were drugs in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I assume, Miss Savage, that they didn't belong to you.
Right.
So the two of them got hauled into court and your car was impounded. According to you, you bailed out your son and Miss Balding, and you want your bail money, which was how much?
$750.
You also would like her to pay for the towing fees on the car and the impound fees.
The impound fees.
That she's not going to pay for because the Hulk over here was the one driving your car, right?
Yes.
And you gave him permission to drive your car, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest you get the impound and towing fees back from him. By the way, have you paid your mother back for your bail?
Yes, I have. Except for $50 of it.
What about the towing fees?
No, I haven't.
Where were the drugs found?
They were found behind the glove box, stashed.
Whose drugs were they?
They were his drugs.
Had you used drugs that day?
No.
Were you under the influence of drugs that
No.
day? Were you under the influence of alcohol that day?
That was possible.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
What time of the day was this?
Around 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because I was laying out at my pool.
What time had you started drinking?
Around 12 o'clock.
He's shaking his head no. I tend to believe him. Were any charges ultimately brought against you?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
That I'm not quite sure about them, but I have this paper right here stating that it was all dropped and dismissed.
Let me see that, please.
I have on the bail slip that I got her what her charges were.
Can I see that, please?
And she has one more charge than my son was, which I believe is being under the influence. She admitted to the police that she had taken Somas.
What is that?
It's a muscle relaxer. Not that day, but previous.
Now tell me about the call you received, Miss Savage, from the defendant about the bail.
First of all, one of their friends notified me that their car had been pulled over, so I went to where it was because it was less than a mile from my house. And I asked the officer if I could get my car, and he said no, there were drugs involved, and one of them was under the influence, and so they were going to impound it. So I asked him where my grandchild was, and the officer went over and asked Melissa, and she told him it was at her apartment. So I told him I would take responsibility and go get Brian and have him stay with me.
Who was watching him?
Some of their friends.
Go ahead.
So I went and brought my grandson home, and I was trying to calm him and everything. He was very upset.
How old is he?
2.5.
Go ahead.
I told him that Mommy and Daddy were having car problems, and when their car was fixed, that they would come and get him, and he told me that I should take him to where they were. So Melissa started calling the first call. She was like, you have to get me out of here. I can't stay in here. You need to get me out. I'll do anything. Whatever it is, I'll pay you back. Just get me out. And that was the first of one of many calls. I probably got between 15 and 20 calls that night, and every time she called, she woke my grandson up. And
what about your son?
He called me once.
Did you go and bail him out?
I bailed both of them out.
No. He called you once?
Once.
When did you bail him out?
Steve got released around 2 o'clock that afternoon, and Melissa got released 8:30, 9 o'clock that morning because there was a woman in jail that Melissa had identified for another crime.
Oh, just a second. This incident happened at 12 noon.
No, the incident happened at like 10 o'clock that night that they were pulled over.
Yes. Oh, so she had been drinking from 12 noon until 10 o'clock at night, according to her. Oh, I didn't understand that. Now I understand. Okay, and during that whole time, she called you numerous times.
She called me about 15 to 20 times, and she told me that they wanted to test her for drugs and she wasn't going to give them a urine sample, and that when she had to go to the bathroom that she would have the girls in the waiting cell stand around her so they didn't know that she was urinating.
Step up. What happened to your case?
My case was dropped before hers was.
What kind of drugs were found in the car?
Marijuana, pills, and methamphetamines.
Whose were they?
Hers.
Oh. That's interesting. Not yours.
The marijuana was mine. I admitted to the cop when we were stopped. He asked if there were any drugs in the vehicle, and the marijuana was in my pocket. And I handed that to him, and He found the other drugs when he asked for my license and registration. When she opened the glove box door, he saw a container that everything else was in.
Who are you?
Her mother.
Step up. Why do you think your daughter didn't call you to bail her out?
Because I taught her not to call me and bail any of my children out until they have gone to their first preliminary hearing.
She was in Ohio.
Just
a second.
They'll possibly lower the
Just a
bail or
second.
drop the
What's your last name?
Daly.
Miss Daly, how many children do you have that have been arrested?
Oh, this one.
So when you said you've taught all your children not to call you until after they have had their first bail hearing, you were really referring just to her?
No, I raised 4 daughters as a single parent.
Yes.
And I worked in law enforcement for 30 years.
Yes.
And I just informed them that if they got into a situation where they ended up in jail, I would hope this wouldn't happen, but I just wanted to make sure that they knew what to do.
How many years have you spent in law enforcement?
All told, 20.
Between us, we have more than a half a century in law enforcement, Miss Daly. How many children do you have?
4.
Between us, we have 9 children. Did you ever have a conversation and tell your children, if you ever get arrested, make sure you wait until your first bail hearing because your bail will probably be lowered? Do you remember having that conversation when you told them about, don't talk to strangers, don't go near people's vans? You ever remember having that conversation with your 4 children?
Negative.
Me neither. So you want to go through this one more time with me? Because unless you're kooky, because I never heard of a mother, even in law enforcement, sitting her children down and saying, listen, never talk to strangers, be home at midnight, don't give any strangers your phone number, and if you ever get arrested, I want you to wait until your first bail hearing before you call me because your bail may be reduced. Were you happy to get out of jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Pay her the money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $750, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy's always right, but I feel that they've been attacking me.
She's been blaming everything on me since we've been together.
He had told me, just take it, it'll be a slap on your wrist because I have priors.
I don't have any prior drug convictions, no, I don't.
I don't want anything to do with them. I just want my son now.
"50-year-old social health worker Rita Wyke is suing her niece, 19-year-old telemarketer Ebony Polk, for the cost of a new car engine and damages to her home.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 547 on the calendar in the matter of Wyke versus Polk. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Miss Wyke, the defendant is your niece.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your niece had been living with you.
Yes.
You went away on business for a couple of weeks. And it is your claim that either your niece or someone that she invited to your home destroyed some of your property. And the most expensive thing that was destroyed was your car.
Yes, a 95 Nissan Pathfinder.
And that was damaged because, according to you, the car was not in good running order and you had brought it back to your home to just sit there until you could take care of it. It was not to be driven. Somebody, either the defendant or someone else, drove the car, and because it was driven with no oil, the engine seized or something happened to the engine. And the engine has to be replaced. Ms. Polk said somebody else did it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long was your niece living with you?
Ebony moved in with me in March, the middle of March.
Why?
I took Ebony out of a bad situation, Judge, and I let her come and stay with me. I was taking Ebony to and from work until I started having the trouble with the Pathfinder, which was in June. It started leaking oil, and I was told that by the mechanic, I have here the estimate. I needed a real main seal rod bearing, a main bearing. Sure.
Because you're just reading that. You don't understand what all that is. Ladies usually don't understand what all this is. It just is, it doesn't run.
Yes, but that's why the Jeep was parked.
That's why it was parked?
Exactly.
Okay. So the original estimate back in June was $1,650 for parts and labor to fix the car at that time. So from middle of June until July the 6th, the car was just sitting.
Just sitting.
And your niece was living with you
She
at
was
that.
still there.
And you were not giving her rides to and from work in this car?
No, she had to catch city transit.
Okay, so far is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. And then when you went away on July 6th, were you going there for business or pleasure?
No, business. And I was gone for 2 weeks at the group home. Ebony asked if her best friend, Brandy, could stay in the home with her while I was gone. I had no problem with that. When I returned, my Jeep wasn't parked the way I had left it. And I knew then it had been moved. When Ebony came home that afternoon, I asked her what happened. And she told me that they drove that Jeep and she had it towed back to my house.
What happened when you drove the Jeep, Ebony?
Well, I wasn't driving the Jeep. My friend Brandy was driving the Jeep.
Were you the passenger?
Yes.
So it doesn't make any difference. The two of you were in the car. Why did you take the car?
Because the fight had broke out at the house because I had a party. And, you know, a fight had broke out at the house, and I just said I had to go. It was still early, so we got in the Jeep and we went riding.
But you knew that you couldn't use the Jeep because
I
you had...
know. I already know.
What do you mean you know you know?
I know. I know the Jeep. I didn't know it was messed up like that because when we got ready to get in the Jeep, an oil leak, I looked under the Jeep and see if it any oil on the concrete. It was no oil. So therefore, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was major like that. So we got in, started driving. Before we could get back to the house, it just stopped. I towed it back to the house. I got it back, I got it back to the, property fine and all right, but I feel
Well, you didn't
like...
get it back fine and all right. It had to be towed.
Well, it got back. It was better than leaving it on the side of the road.
You have another estimate for the car?
Exactly. Your Honor, not only that, Ebony went in my daughter's bedroom. I have a handicapped daughter. I had just bought her a 50 CD changer, took that child's stereo out, put it in the den. Now I'm left to buy her another stereo. They demolished that. 5 of her CDs were taken. Only the cases are left.
I was not responsible for that. It wasn't my fault. I did not know the CDs were gone.
For anything.
And I didn't know the stereo was messed up until she told me about it.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What kind of fight broke out in the house?
Well, it was a little scuffle, and when the scuffle happened, I told everybody they had to go.
Well, how many people were everybody?
It was only meant to be a few friends, few of Brandy's friends. It ended up being about 50, 60 people, and I knew that wasn't even gonna work. So I told everybody they had to go.
She didn't have permission to have anybody in my house.
Well, listen to me.
I have here.
You made a big mistake.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I admit I did.
How old are you?
19.
Okay.
I feel like it's not my fault. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I wasn't driving it. I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, what about the carpet and the furniture?
The carpet?
Don't answer her yet. I'm still adding.
I'm sorry.
Let us assume that the damages, Miss Polk, that your aunt is claiming to her carpet, to the CD changer, the CDs, which she has itemized at, well, it's less than $44.23. It's less than that because I'm deducting the original $16.50 that you were going to be charged to fix the car. Let us assume that all of that is correct. Carpet got stained because somebody spilled wine on it.
I offered to clean it, though, but she had a little attitude. I told her she had to wait till I got paid. But if she couldn't wait, she had an attitude. I got a mop and bleach, and I tried to get it up. It was some stains, but I told her I was going to get the stain cleaner. She couldn't wait. Oh, well.
Where are you living now?
I stay with my friend.
Good.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rita White claims her niece Ebony Polk owes for the cost of a car engine and damage to her home. Rita says Ebony has a bad attitude.
Go ahead. Yeah, and I have here where I had my carpet and furniture cleaned. I have the receipt here. I've already paid for that. Ebony feels like she's not responsible for anything.
Yes, I know that. What are we going to do about that?
Well, she cannot come back in my home.
Perfect.
There's no way.
Good.
I don't want to come back anyway.
She shouldn't come back to your home. Look, you spent $270 on the carpet.
That was the carpet and the furniture, the love seat and sofa.
And what
together.
about this CD changer?
Yes, that costs $279.
Do you have a bill for it?
No, I don't have that. The original price was like $319, but it was 6 months old because I bought it for her 25th birthday.
That was not my fault.
Well, whose fault was it? Tell me.
The gentleman who was in there who started the scuffle.
But I didn't tell
Shh,
anyone.
just a second. You allowed those people into your home.
I didn't know it was gonna be that many. I did not know all those people was coming. Brandy knew all those people was coming. I did not know. It was only supposed to be a couple of people. Those was Brandy's friends. She is suing the wrong one.
Why didn't you call the police?
Because. Why?
What's a because?
Why? They were already gone. I didn't know who it was.
Oh. Listen to me. Some people are helpless. Some people are hopeless.
I am not hopeless.
Hopeless. Hopeless. Not helpless. Hopeless. Waste no more of your energy. You tried to do the right thing, didn't get there, doesn't get the message. She's got the attitude. It's never going to go away. You try to be a nice person. You said, invite your friend over. Don't stay alone. She abused your trust. She has no sense of right and wrong. She's 19 years old, so she's still young. But with that kind of an attitude, she's never gonna change. Wash your hands and say, finito. And concentrate on your children, concentrate on your job, concentrate on what you do, concentrate on the fact that she owes you $3,038. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. She may step out.
The Jeep was not my fault, and I'm not paying for that. And she knew that, so oh well.
All I can say is I love her. I love her, and I'll continue to pray for her.
She should have been talking to Brandy about that because those were her friends. She drove the Jeep, and it's her fault. Oh well.
I tried hard for Ebony.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Blocker Thomas. Step forward, please.
35-year-old administrator Gina Johnson is suing 30-year-old nurse Crystal Blocker Thomas for the cost of a wedding veil.
Ms. Johnson, were you and the defendant friends before you loaned her your veil? Your
Yes,
wedding veil?
acquaintances for about 8 years.
Acquaintances, but not good friends.
No.
It's your complaint that you loaned her your wedding veil. She was getting married, and when she finally got around to returning it after many requests, it was ruined, and you want the value of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'd like you to tell me when you agreed to loan her your veil.
We played basketball together in a women's basketball league, and our league had just ended. It was about March. And probably around the mid of March, we went to a restaurant and discussed that she was getting married sometime in July and how expensive it was to get married. And I explained to her that I knew a lot of ways to cut costs, and I had some items that she could borrow. And I had not heard from Crystal after we had that lunch until the morning of her wedding, and that was sometime in July. She called me at 6:45 a.m., spoke to my husband. She called back about 9:15 that morning. And I explained to her, you know,
What did she say to you when you spoke to her at 9 o'clock in the morning?
She says, "Hi, Gina, this is Crystal. I'm calling you because I would like to borrow your wedding veil." You remember when we had the conversation about borrowing the veil? And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "When you get married?" She says, "Today." And I said,
So you were not really close friends because you weren't going to the wedding.
Right, correct.
So you're just acquaintances.
Right.
So go ahead.
And so when I talked to her on the phone, I said, "Well, Crystal, I have plans today. You know, you're getting married today. What time?" And I believe she said about 4 o'clock. And I'm a woman of my word. I said that she could borrow it. I was going to let her borrow it. I didn't want to leave her out. And so about that time, I told her, "Okay, I've got plans. You need to meet me closer to my home." She agreed to meet me I guess it was about noon. And I met her, gave her my veil in its original plastic bag on a hanger hanging in mint condition. And she got out of the car and across the street and gave her my veil. I said, "Congratulations. Get this back to me as soon as you can." She says, "No problem. Thank you."
Okay, so you had your wedding?
Yes.
Now you say she gave you the veil.
Yes.
Well, let me hear, because the wedding, it's clear that the veil must have come back in terrible condition, which you'll show me in a minute. Tell me about your recollection of the conversation that took place in July when you got married.
Okay, we were at Ken Ride's, and as she stated, we were talking about the wedding, Gina just openly said, Crystal, if you need anything, I have so many things that I'm not going to use again. They're not, they're going to be totally obsolete. So if you need anything, just call me and I'll be more than willing to give you whatever I have. She said, because I know I'm not going to use it again. So I said, okay, well, I don't believe I need too much because I'm pretty much finished.
You called her the day of your wedding?
Yes.
And you told her you didn't have a wedding veil? Had you forgotten to get a wedding veil?
No. Well, I guess I did forget because I wasn't going to wear a piece. I wasn't going to wear a headpiece.
And then you decided to wear a headpiece?
Right.
So you called her first thing in the morning?
No, I called her because I went to go get my hair done first thing in the morning. And the way she did my hair, I realized a veil would probably look better.
So you called her and asked her for hers?
I asked her, did she have one? Because we never discussed that I would use her veil. I asked her, did she have one? And she said, as a matter of fact, I do.
When she gave you the veil, she gave it to you on a hanger?
She gave it to me on a hanger with 2 safety pins in it.
And it was covered with plastic?
A trash bag, not a bridal bag.
It was covered with plastic?
Yes.
And it was in perfect enough condition for you to use that day. I assume you used it. I assume you used it that day.
I didn't use the entire veil. I altered it.
What do you mean you altered it?
Because we let her know, because I was with my friend Tamara that dropped me off, that was doing the driving, rather. And she let me know, Tamara let her know, this will
Where's
not work.
Tamara?
This is Tamara right here.
Step up. Did you ever tell the plaintiff that you were going to change, alter, cut, modify the veil?
Yes, ma'am, we did mention that day because when we...
No, I want you to tell me what you said, because she said she didn't say anything.
Well, when I looked at the veil, I said the headpiece would have to come off because of how Crystal's hair was done that day, because it's a headband type headpiece. It would not go over her hair.
And when did you tell that to the plaintiff?
Right when we got out the car, because we were both out of the car, and actually...
Did she tell you that?
No, Your Honor. The first time I saw her, she was behind the wheel. I had never spoke to her.
Did they ever tell you that they were going to do anything to alter your headpiece?
No, Your Honor.
Of course not. Let me see how they returned it, please.
Your Honor, and I also have my friend Teresa Cackley, who is here as a witness, who heard the original conversations.
I don't care what the original conversation was. Nobody gives a stranger their wedding veil. Now, when it was returned to you, I read your complaint, and you said that this is just a piece of... Where's the whole piece?
She still has it, Your Honor, and that's a headpiece.
This is the actual headpiece.
When it was returned to you, it was returned to you in a garbage bag full of other things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
I didn't return it to her. My husband brought it to the gym because she was talking badly about me to her.
So she wanted her wedding veil back. Why didn't you give it back to her?
She let me have it. Why would I give it back if she let me have it?
Listen, is that also a piece from her wedding veil?
No, this is how we auctioned it. This is an actual necklace that went on the veil. As you can see, we just...
Just a minute. Was that originally on the veil when she gave it to you?
No.
That?
No.
That was your piece?
Yes.
Now, this has nothing to do with money. So I want you just to answer my question. Do you have all the pieces now that you had from your veil?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
What is missing?
As you can see, someone picked the pearls off the back of it. You can see where some of them were glued here, and they've been removed off the veil.
So there's no way that, I mean, you're going to get your money. There's no way you're not going to get your money, whatever the cost of the veil was, because Miss Thomas is not operating with a full deck. I never heard of any young woman who thought that she borrowed either a wedding dress from an acquaintance, not a friend, not a best friend, not somebody who was invited to the wedding, from an acquaintance, borrowed a wedding veil, borrowed shoes, borrowed a bag, and then said, oh, it's mine. I can now treat it like garbage. You're absolutely outrageous, and your husband is a bigger slob by returning it in that garbage bag to her with some old dead flowers in it. Was there wedding cake in there, too?
Your Honor, that is her bouquet that she returned and did not know it was in the bag. And that's the only way I could get her to return my calls, that she wanted her bouquet back.
Really? Why did you want your bouquet back? No. Just answer my, don't think about it. Just tell me, why did you want your bouquet back?
Because it's my bouquet. And
oh! So it's your bouquet.
Right.
And you want it back. Sue for it. Sue for it. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You're going to be unsuccessful.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because your husband gave it to her.
Well, she gave me her veil.
No, she didn't.
She never
No,
said
she,
it was
no,
a
she
loan.
didn't. You just told me your husband gave her this entire bag. I am finding that she loaned you the veil, which you destroyed. But it's so interesting to me, Miss Thomas, that you say, well, it's my bouquet from my wedding. I want it back. And you can't understand why really a stranger who was being nice to you gave you her wedding veil, which is expensive, which was lovely, and you think, she gave it to me, and I don't have to give it back to her. So you want those flowers? I suggest you file a lawsuit. I hope it doesn't come before me, because if it comes before me, you're not going to get it back because your husband gave it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested. The veil is worth at least $220. That's all.
Thank you, Your
Parties are excused. You may step.
26-year-old Danny Valenzuela is suing his son, 19-year-old student Danny Valenzuela Jr., for the cost of a car he totaled.
Order. All rise. Three times. Yeah, this is case number 307 on the calendar. The matter of Valenzuela versus Valenzuela. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Valenzuela, the defendant is your son.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, your son was driving your car and he had an accident. As a result of the accident, your car was totaled.
Yes.
The insurance company gave you some $1,800 for the car, is that right?
Actually, it's $1,187.81 was the offer.
You want your son to pay the difference between what you're going to accept from the insurance company and the blue book value of the car.
Yes. Honest, to begin with, Your Honor, I don't really care about the money. My wife and I are both here to hopefully, with your help, teach my son a lesson. Teach him to be a responsible adult instead of a young kid, 19 going on 14.
Well, the first thing, Mr. Valenzuela, is you have to teach your child is that if you have family disputes, you keep them within the family and you don't go to court. That's number one.
That's the first thing we tried.
Okay. Because going to court with a child is usually
The hardest thing we've done.
Well, it's a hard thing to do, and it's not only a hard thing to do, it usually doesn't promote family harmony in the long run. But that's really what you want. You want him, according to your papers, to pay the difference between what the value of the car was and what your insurance company is prepared to give you.
That's what I put in the thing.
And the defendant says that he was given a settlement. Is that right?
Yes.
For this accident. And after he finished paying the attorney's fees and the fees to the doctor that probably the lawyer sent you to, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
Just pay attention. After you finished paying the lawyer and after you finished paying the chiropractor that he probably sent you to, he sent you to a chiropractor?
Yes.
How did I know that?
You the boss, applesauce?
Yeah. That you got $1,600 for your pain and suffering, and it's your pain and suffering, and your father should not be entitled to any of that. That's your defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell me about the accident, sir. When did you have this accident?
January 28th, 2000.
Okay.
And I asked to borrow my father's car to go pick up one of my friends. And I was going along and I was driving and this guy just pulled out in front of me and made me swerve out of the way and I ended up hitting one of the power poles or whatever there. And then
What company did you settle with? Your father's insurance company or the other car's insurance company?
they had the same insurance company actually.
Well, who did you sue?
His insurance company, I guess. I'm
asking you, sir.
His insurance company.
The other person's
Yes,
insurance
yes.
company. And the other person's insurance settled with you.
Yes. For pain and suffering I endured.
No, I understand that. But if
Yes.
they settled with you, that must have meant that they found that the other car was at fault. Is that right?
Yes, they found that their driver was 25% at fault and my son was 75% at fault.
Oh, you have those papers?
What percent?
This is the police report, and here's the liability right there.
I don't know anything about those percents.
You don't know anything about anything.
Like I said, Your
You had a
Honor,
lot of pain and suffering. I want you to tell me all about your pain and suffering. First, I want you to tell me, after this happened, when did your pain and suffering start?
The next morning I had whiplash in the neck.
Tell me all about it.
when I woke up, my neck was just like, I couldn't even really move at all. Like it was hard for me to move. Like every movement was pain for me.
So,
And then
and how old were you at the time?
18.
What were you doing at the time? Were you working, going to school?
Oh, I was a student.
You were a student?
Yeah, high school
Where?
student.
Cal Poly Pomona.
I was going to Apple Valley High School.
No, don't look at him. Look at me. Look at me. So
Okay,
you were
I was going to Apple Valley High
school.
School. I was a high school student the date of the accident. And the pain that I endured...
Did you go to school the following week?
Yes, I think so. I'm not...
When did you go to see a lawyer?
I'm not sure.
Try to think.
Within the week or so?
Approximately about 3 to 4 weeks after that.
And how many visits to the doctor did he have between the time of the accident and the time you went to see a lawyer?
About 3 or 4 times.
Before you went to the lawyer?
Yes.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, with honors.
Perfect, which means that you didn't miss too much school because of all of this pain and suffering, right?
No.
Mr. Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mercury Insurance, I gather, insures both you and the other car.
Yes,
Is that
they do,
right?
Your Honor.
Well, Mercury Insurance Company did pay him in settlement to settle a claim for what they perceive to be his pain and suffering. You are not entitled to that.
Okay.
According to him, he got a net check of $1,600.
Neck and back.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. The accident was mostly your fault. What do you want me to do? Throw you a party? A pity party?
He pulled out in front of me.
If you weren't going so fast, sir, you wouldn't have hit a pole. You're supposed to drive defensively. You're supposed to be able to stop on a dime.
I saved his life by not hitting him.
I'm not going behind what they found. This was your insurance company and their insurance company. You had the same insurance company. They found that you were 75% at fault. You were 75% at fault in causing the accident. And now I don't know whether they checked skid marks or whether they checked your odometer. I don't know what they did, but that's what they found. So if you were injured because you were going too fast in a car, and you must have been going pretty fast if you totaled the car, then that's what happens. Then you get a backache and a neck ache. What do you want me to do? Cry for you? You look pretty healthy to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Danny Valenzuela says his son, Danny Valenzuela Jr., needs to be responsible for totaling his car. Danny Sr. claims his son has received a settlement for the accident and refuses to hand over any money.
What are you doing now?
Working.
What kind of work are you doing now, Mr. Valenzuela?
Sales.
What kind of sales?
Sporting goods store.
What kind of things are you selling?
Basketballs, tents, you know.
Things that you have to move around a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly you are not totally incapacitated, right? As a result of this pain and suffering brought on mostly by yourself?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, right. Sir, if you have an 18-year-old child and you let him drive your car,
Yes.
you have to either have a lot of insurance or you don't let him drive your car.
Yes. The
That's
thing
what
where we started with this, though, was when he had the accident, I got him to the doctor and everything. During the next 2 weeks, he goes, Dad, I feel really bad about it. What I'm going to do is make it up to you and Mom. Whatever I get from the insurance, I'm going to make up the difference. I'm working. I'll pay you guys back for the car. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. I said, you sure? I was really, I was impressed. My son's being responsible. 2 years later, he finally gets a settlement. I call him and said, hey, you got a letter here. He reads it, goes, I'm going to sign, settle. Saturday comes, he gets a check. I call him again. I paid him. I said, you got your check. Comes home, says, I'll be right back. That was the end of September. The first time I seen him since then.
What happened? Shh. What happened?
Well, I got the check.
Yeah. Please. So I'm asking you.
I really can't say.
Oh, yes, you can. That's why you're here.
Well, this was money coming to my personal injury. This was a settlement for pain and suffering I endured.
Listen! But for the fact that you were out and your father let you borrow his car, you would not have been in a position to hurt yourself or to destroy his car. He didn't have anything to do with it but say, okay, you can borrow my car. Right? Not his fault. Most of this accident was caused by your negligence. And all your father is saying to you, hey, stop touching your nose and look at me. All your father is asking you to do is to be responsible because you said to him, I feel terrible about what happened to your car, and whatever it is, I'm going to make it up to you. whether it's from the insurance settlement if I get one, or from a job that I have, whatever.
I'm sorry someone else made me crash your car. That's what I'm sorry for.
Mr. Valenzuela, you ain't getting it. Are you just thick? Your father and your mother are home. But for the fact that you were out in their car, they would have their car. Now, whether you feel a moral obligation, which you probably should, I'm sure your parents are hardworking people, just from a moral perspective, if you said to them, I want to make it up to you, which was the right thing to do, and then a couple of years go by, and say, well, now I got the check, forget about my moral obligation. All he wants you to do is to be a man.
Exactly.
I don't have $5,000 to just... Here,
There's no
Pop.
way. No. If you got a check and the whole check you got from them was $1,600, father's not looking for $5,000. Maybe what he puts here, but wasn't even your agreement with him. That's not even what you said to him. You said to him, "I'll give you the money when I settle with the insurance company." Isn't that what you said to him?
Yeah.
So why didn't you do that?
Because I think that whole check I deserved for myself. I think my neck and back pains was something I went through. He didn't go through that. I was in pain.
You caused it.
But I was in pain, though. I was in pain.
Just a second. You caused yourself to be in pain.
So then I caused myself to have that check.
Hey.
Oh.
I don't think you're going to get through.
What? I'm not going to get through.
Now you see, that's what we go through.
No, Mr. Valenzuela, you're not going to get through to him. Either he just decided that he's going to stonewall me, or he's pretty stupid. I don't know which one.
Actually, he's a very smart, charismatic young man.
Listen,
But
let me tell you something
he's just
about
not growing
charismatic.
up.
Let me tell you about
First nice
charismatic.
thing he said
He
to me
doesn't do a
once.
thing for me. He doesn't do a thing for me. Because right now, I'm not sure whether he's a wise guy or just plain dumb. Because the last comment that he made to me, if I caused the accident, then I should get the insurance money. Isn't that what he said? Something like that? That's what he said. If I caused the accident, I should get the insurance. What? He earned it.
He earned it.
He earned it. He earned it. Bird would ordinarily be on the side of a teenager. Bird likes teenagers. He really is all for teenagers. He thinks they're all terrific. And me, I'm not so sure. But Bird, he loves teenagers. Me, I like them medium rare. You got $1,600? You told your father you would give him the insurance proceeds? You changed your mind. There's no basis for you to change your mind, sir. You made an agreement with your father. That's what you have to give him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What did I do wrong? Someone else forced me into an accident, and then all of a sudden I'm here in court, and it's like a case all of a sudden. I don't know what I did. I still don't know what I did wrong.
I didn't really care about the money. It just his actions. And I told him, grow up.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sue versus Coran, step forward, please.
25-year-old loan officer Misty Sue is suing the father of her child, 24-year-old corporate trainer Robert Coran Jr., for unpaid utility bills and for half of a down payment on a car.
Miss Sue, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You have a child together, a baby. How old is the baby?
4 months.
According to your complaint, there was a time when you lived together briefly, and he left owing you certain bills, which is just a couple of $100s. You also claim that you purchased a car together, which he took, and you put down the down payment on the car. He's paid you back some of the down payment, but he still owes you, according to you, I believe, what, $600 on the down payment. He says the down payment was a gift and that he owes you nothing, right?
Yes.
When did you live together? From when till when?
Middle of April to August 19th.
Who was paying your rent?
I paid for the first month that I was in maternity. He paid for the second part of my maternity.
So he paid the rent?
One time, yes.
And how much was that?
$400.
Were you living there from April to August?
Off and on. After the baby was born, yes. I was there predominantly. The only thing is, she said I only paid 1 month during those months. And the money that she did have, she'd had enough to pay her June rent, but July and August were covered by myself. There was such a limited amount of money by the time she had the baby coming in. She was only working, maybe it was 8 hours, sometimes it would be 12 in the course of a week.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Coran? Are you paying child support regularly now?
The judge just set all that in motion.
What do you mean all that in motion?
We had an agreement outside of, before child support, she tells me, okay, I need this or I need that, but we went last week.
To finalize an order, a set order.
What she had us do is we come in there, we write down a percentage of what we each work and what he would be paying. Well, he decided that what he has to pay is too much. He has not paid any kind of child support. If you count buying diapers once a week, in which he misses weeks at a time,
No, that's not child
That's not
support.
child support. So, no, I am responsible for everything.
That's usually what happens. You didn't have enough of a commitment to make a commitment to each other permanently, and then you make this commitment to have a child, and that's what happens.
Your Honor, I have acknowledged that when the judge makes the decision of, okay,
how much,
I will go back retroactively. That's not an issue.
Okay. So if you're going to go back retroactively, I'm not going to entertain these other bills. I believe him when he says he paid 2 months' rent. I want to hear about this car.
I got $3,459 back on my income tax. Both of us were without a car. His car had got taken away, so he didn't have it. We were together at that point, and I said, well, why don't we go and we'll get a car together, and it'll make it cheaper on both of us, and plus with the child coming.
So you put down the down payment on the car of $1,000.
Right.
There's no discrepancy that she did, in fact, put down the original $1,000.
The agreement we had was we were not officially together. We had lived
You were
together.
together enough to have a child together.
Yes, we had spent November, December, January together.
I don't get into that. You were going to tell me the agreement was what with regard to this $1,000?
The agreement was because of I had supported her for 2 months in the Christmas season because she had stopped working, some issues she was dealing with. I supported her with rent and everything.
Is that true?
He supported it with rent. Yes, you are correct.
So he paid what, 2 months' rent?
Plus
1 month he
utilities.
did it. He did not do it both months. I supported myself. I got my food for myself. I did everything on my own until January. And he did not pay the rent because the people were coming to the house saying he did not pay it. So he can sit here and say, I paid it till he's blue in the face. It's not true.
It was paid.
You wouldn't have people knocking on your door in the lease office coming to your door if you paid it.
So your defense is that you supported her for whatever period of time prior to purchasing this car so that the down payment was?
She was going to put down $1,000. She needed $400 of it back immediately. It was as soon as I got my tax money back. But the other money was given to me. The car's in my name. There was no talk of putting her on the car. The insurance is my name. But the arrangement we were supposed to have is, okay, if we're together or not.
You didn't say or not.
Or not.
No, Mr. Coran.
Okay.
I'm smarter than you are. I'm smarter than you are, sir. If we were together, because you were planning on being together, this would be a car that was used by both of you.
But
and you purchased this car, was $1,000 down, and how much in payments?
It's $300 a month.
That you're paying.
Yes.
But Mr. Coran, you can't say to me, we talked about it, and the car was going to be mine. She was giving me the down payment whether we were together or not, because at that time, you weren't talking in terms of not being together. Otherwise, why would she take out $1,000 and put it? I'm speaking. Otherwise, why would she take out $1,000 for tax money and give it to you to put down on the car as a gift?
Her. Because I supported her, and she knew that in supporting her back in December, January, that I was taking the money that I didn't have that would have paid my car payment, and I lost the car over it.
You lost the car that you just bought?
No. I lost
that car you still have.
I have my Jeep. I'm saying I had a Toyota that I lost. I couldn't pay the payments because I was supporting her.
Listen, if you had made a minor investment, you wouldn't have had this problem to begin with all of her time off owing to pregnancy and confinement, and, that would have been a very minor investment. Do we understand each other?
I understand you perfectly.
Then you don't have to worry about all this stuff. You have the car?
I have the car.
Good. You give it back $600 that she put down on a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
40-year-old private investigator Catherine Harrison is suing her ex-boyfriend, Claude Johnson, for his share of a vacation and an assault.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 165 on the calendar, the matter of Harrison versus Johnson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat.
Ms. Harrison, you and Mr. Johnson had a relationship that is now over.
Correct.
According to your complaint, some time ago you took a vacation together. You were supposed to split the cost of the vacation, and he still owes you for some of that bill. In addition, after you separated, there was some altercation involving Mr. Johnson, and you claim he assaulted you. You want to be compensated for your pain and suffering as a result of the assault. Mr. Johnson says what was left over from the vacation was a gift, because you said that you would take care of the extra expenses, and that he never assaulted you. As a matter of fact, it was quite the other way around. So, when did this love affair start and when did it terminate?
We had met in February of '04 while working together, and we had broken up this March.
And when was the vacation that you took?
In February of '05.
Where were you going?
I had purchased Lakers Piston tickets for him for Christmas. So we had went to Detroit, we had watched the game, and we had agreed before we left, everything would be 50-50.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes, we were. So we had went to Detroit, and then we had went to Canada for a few days after that.
Well, is it the Detroit trip or the Canada trip that he owes you for?
It's a combination of all of it. There's actually, the total trip balance was $1,468. Therefore, his half of that would have been $734, which he's paid $354.50 and owes $379.50 as the remainder.
So let's take care of that first. Yes?
She's not telling the truth. I was told that, we would go to the game. She said she's going to buy me the tickets. I'm like, okay. She's talking about she wants to go to Canada to go gamble. I'm like, I don't have the money to go gamble in Canada. I really don't want to go. She says, well, we'll put it on my credit card. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, let's go. I agreed to pay her money for the trip to Detroit, at the game and everything. But then,
Well, how much was that part of the trip, Mr. Johnson?
Well, the tickets were free. She bought
No.
it.
Listen to me.
Okay.
How much was your half of the trip to Detroit?
I really don't know. I paid for the hotel, drinks, food, stuff like that.
No, just a second.
Okay.
Was that all put on her credit card?
Well, I gave her the cash. I don't know if she paid with her credit card or whatever. That's on her.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have receipts, credit card statements, bank statements from all of the money that was spent. Definitely.
How much was spent from Detroit? I'm just curious.
From Detroit, we've got a charge of $64.59 in the hotel, and then he had bought some drinks at the game itself. That was all.
That's a small amount of money. Is that the only bill from Detroit?
That's the only bill from Detroit.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's paid.
Just a second.
He's paid $354.
Just a second.
Okay.
When I say just a second, that means you have to stop. The only two bills from Detroit were a $65 bill from a hotel and a couple of drinks. Yes. Is that right?
I guess, according to her bank statements. I don't
Then what did you give her $354 for, sir?
I don't recall how much money I gave her. We had other things going at the time, so, like it gets really complicated.
I'm going to uncomplicate it. You owe $379.50 for the rest of the vacation you took together. You did go, and if you didn't want to go, you should have said, if you want to go to Canada, go alone.
But it was.
I'm speaking. Did you go to Canada?
Yeah, it was a gift on her.
I'm speaking. I just answer my question.
Okay.
Don't volunteer anything unless I ask you to volunteer, which will be never. Did you go to Canada?
Yes, I did.
Did you sleep in a hotel?
Yes, I did.
Did you eat food?
Yes.
You owe a $379.50.
Oh, man.
Now let's get to the assault. You broke up in March of 2005, and when do you allege this assault took place?
June 13th.
Tell me about it.
I had went over to the apartment which we previously had shared together to talk about some previous matters that were unhandled.
What?
It was money for rent that was due after I'd moved out that he had not paid, and then I in turn had to pay.
Well, what was your agreement as far as moving out and continuing to pay the rent?
The agreement was that he was going to take care of the rent since he did not wish to leave the apartment, which I would have, stayed if he would have left and taken care of everything myself. Okay. Anyhow, he had moved in some roommates as well.
So you went over there because you were held responsible for what month's rent?
For the month of June, as well as the first 2 months we had lived there were half price, so they violated the lease that we had owed that money to. It was $1,300 that I had to pay.
Why did you pay it?
Well, I was buying a house, and I could not have that eviction on my credit if it was not paid.
Were you evicted from that apartment?
No.
Did you stay to the end of the lease?
No. The lease still isn't up yet.
All right. So in June, you went to see him about some money that you thought he owed you.
Well, I had went over, and he was actually outside already, so he had just come up to the car. So we were talking through the window.
It's not true. She's lying.
Have you ever been in court before,
No,
Mr.
I have
Johnson?
not. No.
Since you have not, I'm going to give you a kindergarten course about court, especially mine. One party testifies, I ask questions. When she's finished testifying, you will be given an opportunity to testify.
Okay.
We don't shout out. This is not a discotheque. This is not a give and take. This is an organized, orderly process. Do we understand each other, sir?
Yes.
I don't have to explain this to you again, do I?
No.
Good. Keep going.
Okay, so he was speaking to me through the window of the car, And he was under the assumption that he thought I had taken money from him earlier that morning when I went to get my mail. So he kept bringing that up, you know, well, I don't care about all this money. Where's my $14? So he reaches in the car, takes my purse. I grab a hold of it before he gets it completely across me because I had it right here at my side. So when I wouldn't let go, he starts hitting me in my chest. And so in turn, you know, I mean, I let go of the purse. So I got out of the car and, you know, I was asking him, you know, can I have my purse back, you know, whatever. And he's pushing me and shoving me, pushing me, you know, back from him. So, you know, he goes into the house and gets away from the situation. So immediately I had dialed 911 to, you know, reach the police. And they went to the door, you know, and got him outside and talked to him as well. I have the police run log as well.
I want to see a hospital record.
Okay, well, I didn't go to the hospital.
Doctor's report.
I didn't go to the doctor.
Get over it. Whatever pushing and shoving was done over the pocketbook was no big deal. Don't make it into a big deal. Then I begin to doubt your veracity. We understand each other?
Sure.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Have you paid her back?
No. And as a
Well,
matter of
are
fact,
you on drugs?
No.
Then just answer me. I said if you paid her back. The answer is no. One no will be sufficient.
And later today,
Let him take the car so that he could go to school and look for a job. That's what you're supposed to do. You're his mother. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
Well, it seems to me this one is doing okay, which means that your mother probably did something right.
Yes, ma'am.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Harrison says ex-boyfriend Claude Johnson owes for a trip to Canada and for an assault.
Did you think that she took money from your house?
I know that she took money from my house.
And how do you know that, Mr. Johnson?
Well, I do have 2 roommates. My roommates were sleeping. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning when she came in my house. In the meantime, I had money on my table in my room.
$14.
$14, but it was all the money that I had at the time. So, you know, it's like $1 million to me because it's all I had. Anyways, I go downstairs. You know, I talk to her about whatever, you know, the money situation, the rent, da-da-da. Okay, she says to me, how much money do you have? I'm like, well, not enough, you know.
Well, you're living there. Why don't you have money for the rent,
Well,
Mr. Johnson?
this is about, I have got money. I had, like I said.
Listen to me, sir. Don't double talk me. It's June. Where's your rent money? You and your 2 sleeping roommates.
We had the rent money for the month, right? The thing is we were being charged extra money for the rent. Instead of being $600, we were being charged $1,200. In all reality, we were moving. She just didn't know it yet, so I wasn't going to give her anything, you know? Now.
So you're going to stiff her on the landlord?
No. I was going to pay it. It's big. It's hard to explain it. You know, it would take a long time. Anyway, let's get to the point. She goes upstairs. She says, I'm going to go look for some money.
Have you? And so she took you $14. You went upstairs. You didn't see your $14, so you figured it was in her purse. When she came back later, you went into the purse. Fine.
Fine.
Who paid the landlord the $1,200?
She did.
Have you paid her back?
No. No. And as a matter of fact.
Are you on drugs?
Huh?
Are you on drugs?
No.
Then just answer me. I asked you a simple question. I said if you paid her back. The answer is no. 1 no will be sufficient.
The answer is no. I shouldn't have to pay her back. Yeah.
Well, she didn't file a counterclaim. I'm just curious. Why didn't she ask for that money?
I was told I should handle that in the local Franklin County courts.
That's too bad. In any event, he owes you $379.50 for the vacation, which he agreed to pay for, and he did not completely pay for. I don't believe he assaulted you to any extent that requires compensation by a court. He was angry, but I don't believe he hurt you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $379.50. And Ms. Harrison, let me explain this to you. You should thank your lucky stars that you got out when you did.
Yes, thank you.
Oh,
Good,
man.
thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's an evil person. You know, that's why. I don't know why she did it.
He said that he would have the means to pay me back.
She wanted to stay at the Hilton. You know, she wanted to go all out.
That's just the way I roll.
After we broke up, you know, in March, it turned into a loan.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cowan versus Cowan. Step forward.
Diane Cowan is suing her son, 23-year-old Kenneth Cowan Jr., for car payments and for stealing her tax refund from their shared bank account.
Mrs. Cowan, this is your son. Your lawsuit claims 2 things. First, that you had an arrangement with your son wherein he would use your car and make the payments on it while he was using it until he purchased his own car. you claim that with regard to that portion of your complaint, he did make some payments, didn't pay them all, and ultimately you sent somebody down, your fiance?
Yes.
Down to pick up the car because he had moved to a different state. So you want him to pay some $1,000 that he should have paid on the car. Second part of your complaint, which I really believe, based upon what I read, is what you're complaining about. You just tacked on this car business later, is that you and your son shared a joint bank account. At some point, he withdrew $2,000 from that joint bank account, and he withdrew that money, which was from your tax refund, because you claimed him as a dependent for last year. And he says he's entitled to that money because he was going to file his own tax return as a single individual, but since you had already claimed him as a dependent, he couldn't claim himself. So he took the $2,000 because he said you weren't entitled to it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I correct, Ms. Cowan, that but for the withdrawal from the bank, we wouldn't be bothering with any money he might owe on the car?
No, we had made a verbal agreement, and I told him that once he took the vehicle to Texas, that he would be responsible for the payments.
Did you have that agreement with your mother?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Fine. At that time, were you going to school, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also working?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you working full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Who was supporting you?
I was on academic scholarship and receiving money from Pell Grants.
Did your mother send you any money?
She may have given me a total of $500.
Okay. Is it correct, Ms. Cowan, that for the year 2004, your son was basically self-supporting?
No.
Well, how did you support him?
Okay, by me being a disabled veteran, it took care of his 2 years of college.
Just a second.
Okay.
You're being a disabled veteran and the government picking up part of his tuition means that we supported him, not you. Is it true that he was either self-supporting or on scholarships and or Pell Grants that he's going to have to return?
Yeah, he was on Pell Grants, but I supported him as far as sending monies for groceries or if he ran short.
How much money did you send him for the year 2004?
I would say over $2,000.
Show me.
I don't have it as far as monetary back. Most of the time, I would always deposit it in my account because we shared account.
I have bank statements showing to where there were deposits made on the account, and these are the only cash deposits on the account are ones that I made.
How many times did you withdraw money from this account, Mr. Cowan?
Very rare, maybe once a semester, if that.
So this was primarily your bank account, that you used this bank account to pay your bills?
Yes.
Okay. You have a copy of your tax returns from last year, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My W-2s and my tax return.
So you had an adjusted gross income of a little over $5,600.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your statement, if I believed you, which I don't, at most you sent your son $2,000.
Right.
Then you were not entitled to claim him as a deduction because you didn't contribute more than 50% of his support. You were not entitled to claim him as a deduction.
Yes, but according to VA, if I had not claimed him as a dependent, then they would not have taken care of his bills. You know, I'm not a...
Just a second. Let us say that because of some regulation, you were required to claim him as a dependent, even though you did not contribute more than 50% of his support. Let's say that that's true. Then what you should have done was discuss it with your son and say, listen, for the purposes of the VA, so that you can continue to have all your classes covered or whatever percentage the VA covers, I have to claim you as a dependent, but I'm going to give you the $2,000. What would have been wrong with that?
Well, I agreed to that. And
so then why are you complaining that he took the $2,000 out of your account?
Because it was the procedures that he took. Now, he know normally there has not been a time that I have denied him of anything.
So you didn't like the fact that he did it in a sneaky way?
That's right.
Okay. She says she didn't like the idea that you were sneaky about it. Well, I think, Ms. Cowan, one of the reasons he might have been sneaky about it was because when he filed his tax returns, he filed them as an independent, and then he was told later that he was denied his refund because you had already claimed him as a dependent. Had your mother discussed the fact that she was going to claim you?
She had said she was going to try to claim me to recoup some money that I hadn't paid her on a car payment. She told this to my uncle.
Oh, well, I
and
don't want to hear about the car payment. Listen to me, Miss Cowan. As far as I'm concerned, you've got a son that's doing the right thing. If you had a car and you let him take the car so that he could go to school and look for a job, that's what you're supposed to do. You're his mother. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
Okay, well, it seems to me this one is doing okay, which means that your mother probably did something right.
Yes, ma'am.
Should have done the right thing. Shouldn't have made this situation so mucky. Miss Cowan, irrespective of what he did, you're still his mother, and I sometimes wonder whether I would have, I don't have to wonder, I would not have pursued this matter in court. I would have said to him, it's not the right thing to do. What's your first name?
Kenneth.
It's not the right thing to do, Kenneth. You shouldn't have gone behind my back and taken the $2,000 out of the account. I was prepared to give it to you, but you shouldn't have just taken it. I'm not so sure that you were prepared to give it to him because, according to you, he owed you some money on this car nonsense. Can't tell you how many cars I bought my children. If you had not claimed your son as a dependent, what would have been your refund?
I would have gotten $1,913 from that.
And how much did you actually get?
$29.13.
Yes, sir.
When I asked my mother for her tax return, I was going to return whatever she didn't get for claiming me. She sent me a tax return that said she only got $300 for me, which was false.
But she got $1,000 for you.
Right.
Is that what you want, sir?
Yes.
Then you have to give your mother back $1,000 because you took out $2,000 from her account.
No, I was supposed to get $2,000 back, and I was
Listen to me. What your mother is saying is she was required by the VA to claim you as a dependent in order for you to get certain benefits. So, although if you filed for yourself as an independent, you would have gotten $2,000, if she didn't file for you as a dependent of hers, you wouldn't have gotten other benefits which far outweighed that $2,000. Are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
So that you should not have taken out the $2,000 from the account because all she got, by virtue of her claiming you as a dependent, was an extra $1,000. So that's all you were entitled to. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000.